Guys, welcome back to another video. It is your boy Monix, and today we're going to be talking about Tanki Online, a game that you may or may have not heard about during its peak years, during the Flash era. And ever since the game has went into HTML5, ever since I think at the beginning of 2020, I believe. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And the game has been going downhill ever since then. Really, ever since they discontinued the Flash version, and you can no longer use the Flash version, which is understandable because Flash has been discontinued way back in, I forgot what year it was, but it has been discontinued, so you can't just easily run Flash anymore in browsers, especially. So now they have to use HTML5, which is a more better engine. But I will say, ever since that era of Tanki Online, things has just been going down in the worst. And oh boy, the developers have also gotten a lot greedier. Basically, when I think of Tanki Online, like Tanki Online's greediness, it reminds me of Pixagon 3D in a bad way, by the way. And if you guys want me to make a Pixagon 3D video about the situation, about Pixagon 2, let me know down in the comments below. That's all you gotta do. Just let me know if you want me to expose that AI slop for what it is, and telling you guys the game may be mostly AI generated. So I just want to let you guys know that. And also, if you enjoy these videos like this and my other videos as well, I will be talking about games like The Finals, Splitgate 2, or some Call of Duty news when it comes out, of course. And I'm thinking about including more games as well, not just those two niche games that I listed first, but also other games that you guys want me to talk about. It doesn't have to be FPS, it doesn't, but I'm mainly gonna do FPS, aka arena/arcade shooters. So yep. Anyways, let's get into the video. So I think it was a couple of months ago, I believe, and the developers of Tanki Online basically released an update talking about they're going to be releasing their new project called Tanki Classic, and they're going to be attempting to revive Tanki Classic in the HTML5 format mostly, I believe, but they only gonna, because they got to rebuild some of the code that is no longer usable from the Adobe Flash engine, and they have no choice but to do that. And it's gonna feel weird, especially I believe that the game is gonna feel weird to the point where it's gonna be like the HTML5 version of Tanki Online, where you have to use your mouse. It would be better to use your mouse than Z and X to rotate your turret, and usually it does not feel great, especially on the keyboard controls on the HTML5 version. And also the developers have gotten a lot greedier. Apparently, for the test of Tanki Classic, or I think it was, I don't know if it's still pending or not, or it has been over with, but just like I said, correct me on all this news because I'm still new to this news. I played Tanki Online, by the way. I played Tanki Online back in 2016 and stuff. So yep, even though I was kind of late to the party, I guess you can say, I still enjoyed the game for what it was. And yes, it was pay to win. Yes, I believe, like, ever since Tanki Online introduced crystals as monetization, I do think the game was pay to win regardless, but it wasn't that pay to win until, well, especially in the HTML5 era now. But anyways, what I was trying to say was that the developers have basically charged tank coins. I think that's what they're called. I think that's what they call it, tank coins. I don't know what it's called. Like I said, correct me. And you have to buy them to play on a Tanki Classic, like, early access. Can you believe that? And I think it's a lot of money too. I forgot the amount, because I don't want to say the wrong amount and get backlash for this video for lying or for spreading misinformation. But I will say, I think they did charge a lot for it, or at least promoted monetization for it, just to get into a early access of Tanki Classic, which is crazy. I'm just wondering, why can't you just have people who play pro Tanki to try to get them to play Tanky Classic. Won't you think that you would do that instead of trying to alienate your old Tanker fans? If that makes sense, I don't understand why you're trying to appease to the new ASMO 5 crowd. I don't understand why. See, that's what happens to these games, especially in the modern day, where they used to be like, especially with beloved games, they now try to cater to every single body. And I know I like to, quote this famous quote from Arrowhead Studios, but a game for everyone is a game for no one, man. So I just want to let you know that. So don't try to cater towards any other body. Just basically have your game be what brought it up in the first place. Why did you think people played Tanky Online a lot during the Flash era? Remind people of that amazing era. Ever since Tanky Online has introduced augments, it has not been really good for the Tanky Online franchise. Ever since they introduced that, you've been going against nothing but people trying to run the latest augment. Oh, the most meta augment that will dominate every single match for not just weeks, but even a few months. And that's not fun to go against at all alternative games. That's just not. Literally, when you're doing augments, you have to balance them, because if you're not gonna balance them or try to balance them, and then just don't release that augment at all. Just don't. There's just no point. But yeah, man, like I said, it's not fun going against a augment player that uses the meta augment for a couple of months. And on top of that, they could be a pay to win player. That's what makes things worse than they are and is. Another complaint with tankers that they have is the MK system. Ever since they introduced that as well, it has been it's just ruined the motivation to grind. Because if you can just upgrade your hull or turrets to MK2 to MK3 not too long, then it just removes the drive to just grind. It just does, literally. I think what we all enjoyed with the M1 to M2 to M3 system was that it took a while to grind, and once you got to that point, then it feels amazing to have, bro. They keep saying that they are listening, but I don't know about that at all. Literally, same thing with Pixelgun 3D. They say they were listening, but you see where that game is at now, huh? But yeah, man, ever since this game turned into ASMO 5 bull crap, the game has just been going downhill, man. It's just been, like a corpse of all the beloved franchises that we used to enjoy and love, man. Like, this game had potential, bro. Especially Tanky X, when that game first came out, that game had potential to be like even a console release, to be honest with you. And maybe even still be updated today if they didn't just cancel it. You see what I'm saying? And they also did cancel out Tanky Online 2.0, which was another project that they was trying to do to get away from the original version of Tanky Online. There's been a whole rebuttal to why Pro Tanky exists as a fan project from just a random guy. I mean, there's just been arguments all over about it. People saying, hey, this shouldn't exist. I wonder why alternative games is just not wanting to do what the players want, or you know all this, and you get what I'm saying. And I just want to say this too, is that I think I understand why Pro Tanky exists as a fan project to revive the Flash era of Tanky. And that's just because the developers they ain't gonna do things the way us players that play their game is going to want. They are going to do whatever they can to milk a Tanky classic. And this is coming from a guy who has played Pixelgun 3D, right? Yeah, I'm mentioning the game a lot. I know. That's basically the PTSD that I'm getting from, and it's not looking good at all. Literally, I've been seeing the Tanky Online vlogs recently. People saying, hey, you should do this and don't do this, because if you do this, then it's going to make it seem like you're not listening, even though you say you are listening, but you're doing things the opposite that the community wants you to do. So yeah. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this unexpected video on a Saturday. I know I did cancel the Halo video. I'm gonna make that next Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that video. And we're gonna be covering a lot more games. So if you guys enjoyed this video and these types of videos, leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And your boy Monix is out. See ya.